2 years ago, Wilson had just started kindergarten, so it was 2 months into kindergarten. And one morning he woke up and his eyes were kind of puffy. He had a little stuffy nose and seemed fine. So a couple days go by, and by the time the week ended, I knew there was something that was wrong.
And I noticed that his legs were swollen up as big as mine. And he had, various other kind of like just liquid kind of deformities on his body. And we knew immediately that we had to go to the hospital, and we rushed to the emergency room.
What was really crazy, like I kept getting fluid everywhere. My face was all swollen and stuff.
When they told us it was nephrotic syndrome, it didn't seem that bad. I thought that we'd gotten the good end of all the terrible things that you can be faced with. It wasn't until the next few weeks and months went by that we really understood what we had in store. In nephrotic syndrome, the way that the disease works is that it prevents your kidneys from properly filtering the blood that's in your body. And it can't keep the right balance of protein and liquid inside the bloodstream, and so liquid seeps out from the bloodstream into the tissues around it.
It's a mystery. We don't really know what causes it. We have medicines that we can use to suppress the immune system to not cure it, but suppress it and put people into remission. But we don't really have medicines that get to the exact heart of what causes it, because we don't know what the cause is.
We tried prednisone, and he relapsed while he was on that, twice at really high doses. Then we added another immunosuppressant called tacrolimus, and he still relapsed twice while he was on a combination of that and the prednisone. And then we added a third medication called Cellcept, and it took all three of those to even get him into remission so that he could avoid having his kidneys stop working and he could continue to live a healthy lifestyle. So once we found a medication that worked for Wilson, or a cocktail of medications, what's been tough for us this year has been managing the side effects of that.
One of the burdens that families bear is that for a condition that relapses when a child gets sick, is very hard to deal with trying to prevent children from getting sick, because it's actually quite normal for children to get sick. An average child has 3 to 5 viral infections per year.
If anybody in our family is sick, if our daughter gets sick, we have to quarantine both kids. Lila has to go to her room, and she can't come out and be in the common areas. And then Wilson has to go to his room and be in his area. And sometimes if what one of them has is a really significant, like the flu or strep throat, we actually will have my daughter or my son have Wilson and his dad go stay at another home. We go stay at Tucker's parents' house, our in-laws, because we just can't. It's just too much stress to have anybody in the house who's got anything. The risk of it transferring to Wilson is just too high. It just, making sure that everything's okay for Wilson and he's gonna take his medicines, and then making sure everything's okay for my daughter, and she feels loved because there's so much attention that's put onto Wilson. And then making sure that everything's okay for them just emotionally at school, and everything's okay for them, to have a play date with a friend, that everyone around is healthy. We don't do carpools the same way as other people. My kids don't take the bus anymore. They used to take the bus to school, and we don't do that. It's just too much exposure. So it's in my mind 100% of the day, all the time.
Wilson's a great kid. He's always been what we like to refer to as an old soul, where he's always just been a very thoughtful, considerate kid. He's passionate about science, loves to read. In fact, sometimes we have to punish him by taking away his ability to read Harry Potter books.
Wilson he's got a great sense of humor. He loves science. He loves chess. He loves rocks. He loves to collect rocks. He loves his buddies. I think more than anything, he loves hanging out with his buddies, just kind of doing normal 8-year-old boy things. The doctors told us that they believe that Wilson will be a healthy adult. They said that they believe that he will grow out of this, and that at some point in his life he will not need to take medication anymore. That is based on the diagnosis of minimal change disease. So we hang on to that. It is our hope, and we hold on to that every day, that we think that eventually Wilson will be a healthy, happy adult. And we try to make every decision with that in mind.
I think one of the most important and most amazing things that I've seen through all this is is the power of a mother's love for a child. I don't think there's any stronger force in the world, and it's really just inspiring.